Buy or Sell is back, and this time it's the lockout edition. Last episode of Buy or Sell, I asked the YouTube comment section, because I've been doing it on Twitter. Follow me at GiraffeNeckMarc, links in description, to give me the hot takes. But today we're looking at the YouTube comment section. What does YouTube think is their hot takes that they want answered by me on Buy or Sell? So that's exactly what we're doing. We're looking at the last episode and answering your guys' hottest takes. Of course, if you want to get involved in this series, the best way to do it is follow me on all my social media. I don't know what I'm going to do next. Might be YouTube, might be Twitter, might be Instagram, might even be TikTok. Whatever it is, you need to be following me. Links, of course, to all my social media are in the description. Drop a like on the video if you were enjoying Buy or Sell, as well as subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the content coming at you. And of course, let me know what you're thinking about any of these hot takes down in the comment section below. It's always a collaborative effort. I want to know what you guys are thinking. So without further ado, let's scroll through these comments, which are now about, what, 2-3 weeks old, and see what some of the best hot takes are that we can pull out from this. Okay, so this one's like a little bit of a two-parter. Hot take: the Mets will make some big moves, exciting fans to the point where they think they're World Series contenders. Then the Mets pull a Mets, and it all crashes and burns them, leaving with an about 500 record and no playoff appearance. So the Mets did make some big moves. He wasn't wrong about that, and he's also right that we are starting to think big things with this New York Mets team going into the 2022 season. That being said, I don't think that they're going to miss the playoff, and I don't think that they're going to have a about 500 record. I would be so shocked. This team is vastly better than the years past. I expect a lot better performances out of this team. While we still don't have a manager, and that can be concerning, I don't think that this Mets team is destined for the same old Mets stuff. I mean, Max Scherzer, Marte, Canna, Escobar being added to this team that already had some good players. I love the way that they're looking going into 2022. So yeah, I buy the idea that they make some big moves. I sell, though, that they're going to be, below 500 or around 500 and no playoff appearance. We're making the playoffs this year. I'm telling you. I'm vlogging all the games. I'm going every single one. You heard it here first. Marvin Lasag? I don't know how to pronounce your name. That's a little foreign to me. I think Carlos Rodon would be a great acquisition for the Yankees. I buy this. Yeah, Carlos Rodon would be a pretty good acquisition for almost any team, and I think Carlos Rodon on the Yankees would be very good. I mean, their starting rotation isn't the worst, but it can always get better, and a guy like Carlos Rodon, who is still available on the market right now, is definitely someone I think the Yankees, if they want to spend money, should look at, but they do have bigger issues. I don't think Carlos Rodon is their number one target. I don't think that he is their biggest issue they need to fix in terms of starting pitching, but Carlos Rodon as a fit for the Yankees, yeah, of course, he'd be great. He'd be a great fit on every single team. You can never have too much starting pitching. Again, I'm repeating, look into my eyes. Look into these baby blues. You can never have too much starting pitching. Cool dude. Even with the Rangers signing Simeon and Seager, they will still be at best a 500 team. Ooh, that's a good question. That's a really good hot take, because I think right now, especially in the world of the Rangers fans, I think they're probably feeling pretty good going into this year. And hey, grabbing John Gregg, grabbing Marcus Simeon, and grabbing Corey Seager is a huge improvement over what they had last year. That being said, this team is still not strong around the field. I mean, there's still a lot of holes. The pitching is still extremely young and unproven, and the bullpen is a bit shaky. So while they have gotten a lot better, they went from an F grade, I think, to like a C range, which is about 500. And I agree. I think right now with the moves that they made, the Rangers are still about a 500 team. That AL West is always strong. The Astros are still good. The Mariners are going to get better. The Angels have improved slightly, not great, but they have improved a little bit. And the A's, well, I mean, currently they're still fine, but of course we think they're going to trade Olsen and Chapman, so who knows with them. But yeah, I can buy the idea that right now, the way the Rangers are, they are at best a 500 team. I don't see much more ceiling for them, but they can still make a lot of improvements, and they really do have such a great young farm system that those guys could come up and make an impact right now. But on paper, it's better, but it's still not great. A little AL West love this episode. Derpy dude, Kris Bryant to the Mariners. Yes, he would fit perfectly after Kyle Seager leaves and could play some outfield. I'd say that gives them an above 50% chance to make the wild card, and this is coming from a Giants fan after just losing Posey. I don't really know what that has to do with your take on the Mariners, but hey, I like your take. I'm buying this one too. I think this is the most I've buyed. Is the YouTube comment section sane? Are you guys really smart? Oh my goodness, I never thought the comment section would be someone that I was going to for great info and takes, but right now you guys are killing it, and I like this one a lot. I've been saying it all offseason. I think Kris Bryant is a perfect fit with the Seattle Mariners. I want him on the Mets. I think he's a great fit with the Mets too. I think he's a great fit with a lot of teams, but Kris Bryant feels like he can play a lot of different positions that the Mariners could definitely use right now. And while they do have some young outfielders coming up, and Julio Rodriguez is on his way, Kris Bryant's ability to play third and all the outfield positions is incredibly valuable, versatile. He's one of the more underrated players in the league, I honestly think. Like, his OPS since he started his career is like right around, like 850 to 900. Kris Bryant's really good, and him to the Mariners just feels like too good of a fit, honestly. I love this take. I'm buying it. Lorenzo Casillas. Jansen will sign with either the Padres or the Giants. Ooh, and with Mark Melancon going to the Diamondbacks, that does kind of open up a spot for the Padres closer. I could see Kenley Jansen being a Padre. I could see him being a Giant, but I am going to sell this take right now. It's not that I don't think it could happen. It's that I think it won't. I think he's going to end up going back to the Dodgers or just to a completely new team. I don't know if he's going to go to San Diego, San Francisco. I don't know if they want to spend that kind of money on a closer right now. So while I actually really like this take, I am selling it just because, I don't know, something just doesn't feel right about it. Maybe it's because Kenley's been a Dodger his entire career, and seeing him in San Diego or the Giants feels sacrilegious. I don't know, Dodgers fans, you can let me know what you're thinking about this take down in the comment section below. All right, Mike Man, the Blue Jays will have one of the most underrated pitching rotations in the league next year. Stamp it, Jackson. You know what I'm saying here. Bye. I believe this. The Blue Jays have a really sneaky good pitching staff right now. You got Kevin Gausman, who looked great last year in San Francisco, and even towards the tail end of 2020, he looked really good. That guy is a legitimate pitcher. I don't think he's necessarily going to be this Cy Young caliber guy that we saw for the first half for an entire season, but I think he's very much a frontline starter, and I really like that pickup. He probably might be a safer bet than Robbie Ray. Jose Barrios looked really good, and the Blue Jays have shown that they have an ability to develop pitching. I mean, look what they did with Robbie Ray. They turned him into a Cy Young. Taking a guy like Jose Barrios and even Kevin Gausman, just tweaking him a little bit more, can be huge for their careers. Those two guys are really good. Oh yeah, and Hyun-Jin Ryu. Hyun-Jin Ryu is no slouch, one of the more underrated pitchers in the game just because he's so boring. He's not like throwing 99 and doesn't have the most devastating stuff, but Hyun-Jin Ryu is really good. I think people are going to kind of overreact to the 4.3 ERA last year, and you forget that he played in Buffalo, he played in Dunedin. Those are just hitters' parks, and he got killed by the long ball, which was abnormally high for him this year. But even then, in Hyun-Jin Ryu's last 110 starts, this goes all the way back to 2017 now, he's a 3.15 ERA and a 1.15 whip. Maybe he is not that Cy Young guy that we saw in 19 and 20, but again, that's still a really good starter, and I love Alek Manoah. He looked really great towards the end of the season. Nate Pearson still has just such electric stuff. I'm gonna buy this take 100%. I think the Blue Jays have an incredibly underrated rotation. Doesn't get talked about enough. Bubble B Ass. Nice name. Twins and Tigers make several sizable offseason moves and knock out the White Sox, who will have a similar year to the 2021 Twins. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of ignore the Twins and Tigers big moves because we saw the Twins give an extension to Buxton. That's a pretty big move, even though it wasn't anything new. And the Tigers just signed Javi Baez and Eduardo Rodriguez. They made some big moves, 100%. So I'm gonna ignore that because it's kind of already done. Let's focus on the idea that they're gonna knock out the White Sox, who will have a similar year to the 2021 Twins. I'm selling this one. The White Sox team is just simply too good. And I know we thought that the Twins were gonna be, you know, kind of the dominant team in the Central. We thought the White Sox were gonna be number 2 knocking on the door in 2021, and that's not the case. But I really don't think the White Sox are going to go down anytime soon. I mean, you have an MVP candidate in Luis Robert in center field. You have Eloy Jimenez, you have Jose Abreu, Yohan Moncada, Tim Anderson, Yasmani Grandal. They're going to make some more moves on the pitching side. Giolito, Lynn, Dylan Cease, even Keuchel, pretty good. And I think Kopech was great out of the bullpen last year. You grab Kendall Graveman along with Liam Hendricks, and you still have Kimbrel. This team's very good. And I still think they probably need a couple more moves here and there, but I don't think the White Sox are going anywhere. So that's why I'm selling this take. I still think they are the team to beat in the American League Central, and I would be shocked if they finish in last place like the Twins did this year. Chris Fochler. I hope I'm saying that right, man. Andrew McCutchen will come back to the Pirates on a 1 or 2 year deal and have a comeback season. So I kind of buy and sell this one. I buy the idea that Andrew McCutchen is going to come back to the Pirates. I think that's like a really good fit. Apparently he named his kid after the city, right? His kid's name's like Steele. I think he loves the city of Pittsburgh. I think it makes sense. They could use a real veteran there to kind of help nurture the young guys that are there. And I love Brian Reynolds. He's by all means a veteran now, but McCutchen would really be a guy that's been there before. He's been there when the Pirates have been a winning franchise and an organization, which is a crazy sentence to say out loud. I do think that he comes back to the Pirates. Now, in terms of a comeback season, I don't really know if that's ever going to happen for McCutchen, because let's be honest, a comeback season would mean like MVP, and he's actually been playing pretty well. He's had an OPS plus above 100 since, well, forever. He's never had an OPS plus below 100, and he was walking a really high amount last year. Like, he was actually very good. I know he had 222 average, but still 778 OPS despite that. Andrew McCutchen's a solid player. I don't think there's any comeback per se, but he's going to be looking good in that Pirates yellow and black again, and I hope he goes back to Pittsburgh. The city deserves to have their guy back. He just feels right there. All right, I haven't talked too much about the Mets. Let's talk about them. Pete Alonso had a better 2021 season than Max Muncy. I sell this one. Pete Alonso was great, and I love him, and Pete's my man. We love Big Meat Pete out here. The polar bear is a beast. That being said, Max Muncy is just really good. Max Muncy is one of the best first basemen in the league. So is Pete, but Max is slightly better, and here's why. If you look at the slash line, Pete has the advantage in batting average, and he has 1 more home run than Max Muncy did last year. Pete also had a lot more plate appearances, about 40 more, had a lower on-base percentage by about 20 points, and he had a lower slugging percentage. He had a lower OPS. I love Pete, but Max Muncy did have a better year. That being said, doesn't mean Pete can't have a better year than Max Muncy down the road, because Max Muncy's going into his 31-year-old season, and Pete Alonso's going into his 27-year-old season. I love Big Meat Pete, but right now, Max Muncy is the better player. I might be a little hint into my rankings coming for the first baseman. Godhard5 says, I really want the Reds to sign Trevor Story and Castellanos too. Sorry, we're selling this one. This is the easiest sell of the entire video. And it shouldn't be an easy sell. The Reds should be going after these guys. They should bring Castellanos back because his bat is made to play in that ballpark, and they should go after Trevor Story because they do need a shortstop, or at least a little bit of a stopgap until Jose Barrero is really ready to take over that position full time. These two guys should be Reds next year. If this was a team that cared about being competitive, they would be. But Bob Castellani's cheap, and I'm sorry, Reds fans, that you have one of the worst owners in sports. He stinks, but oh man, these guys would fit so well in Cincinnati. They would have great seasons again, but that's just not happening. Reds Reds don't spend money like that. They're trying to trade Sonny Gray and Luis Castillo. Those guys are studs and they don't want them. I don't like it to sell. Slinky Link. Tyler O'Neill will become the best left fielder after the 2022 season. I buy this. Tyler O'Neill was arguably the best left fielder in baseball last year. Great with the bat, great with the glove. He just doesn't really walk, but that boy can mash and he can throw and he can play the field. So I buy this take. He might be one of the best left fielders in baseball right now, if not the best, you know, according to what Fangraphs has listed as the left fielders from last year. He had the highest F4. So this take, while it might not be actually that hot, I like it a lot. We're going to buy this one. Tyler O'Neill is a stud. He's a beast. Cardinals got some good players, man. Cardinals are going to have some great young talent for the next 4 or 5 years. Okay, crispy boy. Pedro Severino will end up being a better signing for the Brewers than Yasmani in 2019. No. I know Yasmani maybe didn't live up to the hype that Brewers fans thought, even though, you know, he had an 840, 850 OPS. Pretty high standards. He got 15th in the MVP voting. He was an all-star. Pedro Severino stinks. I mean, there's just no way around it. He's just not very good. Now, the fact that the Brewers are interested in him, that always, you know, gets my mind going a little bit. They're not really interested in getting bad players, but he's been horrible with Baltimore, and that's a real big hitter's park, just like Milwaukee. It's going to be tough for him to get playing time there, too. Like, I think they like Omar Narvaez a lot. Pedro Severino, to me, just, I can't ever see him being better than Yasmani Grandal, even was for the Brewers in that 1 year. Just no way. If he is, I'll buy you a Pedro Severino jersey. It's just not happening. Robloxable. The Padres make some big starting pitching moves and make the wild card. Two-part. I don't think they make big starting pitching moves. I think they should. I don't necessarily know what we're going to qualify as a big starting pitching move. I don't know. Like, they've spent so much money. They need to, though. But something tells me that this is going to be the 1 year that they're kind of, you know, easing off on the spending. I'm so torn. They need to make big moves. They should. But my gut's telling me no right now for really no reason. That's just all that's in my head right now. And do they make the wild card? They should. Again, they should. They should have a good team. They have Fernando Tatis Jr., who's one of the best players in baseball, along with Manny Machado. And Cronenworth's sick. But I don't know. I think this team has more holes than we once thought. I'm going to sell both of this. And I hate to do it, San Diego. I love the Padres. That's where I want to live, San Diego. But it just doesn't feel right. And then let's do one more from the YouTube comment section. Let's see what we're finding here. We're going to go deep into the bowels. All right, Ari Waltuch. I don't know how to pronounce your name. The Cardinals steal Clayton Kershaw. Sell. Now, I think he would be a good fit there. I'm sure he'd be great in St. Louis, but I think he's either going to the Dodgers, the Angels, or the Rangers. I don't think that there's really any other place that Clayton Kershaw realistically goes, and I'm still betting all my money on the Dodgers. So for this one, it's a sell, but it does make sense. It's a good fit. I don't see it happening, though. I mean, they should have gotten Marcus Stroman, who the Cubs got. I can't believe the Cardinals weren't more in on him. They gave Steven Matz like half of what Marcus Stroman is, and Marcus Stroman will be very, very good. We know that's going to be kind of a fact. So yeah, I sell this. I don't think they're going to go get Kershaw. And here's how we'll end it. Richie, SE, hot take, Braves shock the world again and make a return to the World Series. I mean, them making a return to the World Series would shock the world again. I don't think anybody has them as a World Series favorite right now. They're going to have a tough time in the National League East just with the Mets alone. Like, it's going to be a battle. I still think the Mets have to be able to beat the Braves in order to prove that they are the better team in that division. But that being said, everything in my body tells me no. But my brain goes, why can't it happen again? They lost Acuna and they won the World Series. That shouldn't happen. That's not how it's supposed to work. But if the Braves are really embracing like this information a little bit more like they did towards the end of the season, if they're embracing being a smarter organization and they bring back Freddie Freeman, which would be huge, I don't think there's a world where the Braves can't win it again. So I like this take a lot, but I have to sell it because it's just, you know, I don't think they're going to do it, but this wouldn't surprise me at all if this happens, but I would be shocked. I don't know if that makes sense. I think I just talked in a circle. That might be the best one of the entire video. I want to know what you guys think about it down in the comment section below, as well as tweet at me at GiraffeNeckMarc, links in description. Do you think the Braves have a chance to repeat next year? I'd love to know what you're thinking, as well as what were you thinking about all the other hot takes, because that's the last one for this video. YouTube comment section, surprisingly really good takes. I loved it. Twitter, you know, you've given me some fun. You've given me some laughs, and I don't even know about TikTok and Instagram. We might have to mess around with those too, so if you're not following me, all the links are in the description. But I really enjoyed this episode of Buy or Sell. The hot takes keep coming in. We still have the lockout, so it's going to be a little bit slower, but make sure you send me your hot takes as you always do so that when the next episode comes up, I can include you in it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the content coming at you. You know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video. This is my most recent upload. Click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another video. Bye.